Of the bad guys release, we've created a list of our greatest animated villains who either gave us nightmares as kids or made us feel afraid in the best possible ways. Let the jury begin.
There it is! The casino!
Perfect! That's where we'll find the penguins.
Whoa! Ah! You killer fight like a bunch of little girls! Chimichanga! These pillows are filled with baby birds!
Are you searching for comedy in an animated movie? Here's a good movie for you. Madagascar 3 is an exciting animated family comedy. However, you should be aware that the movie does feature a lot of violent sequences, some that can startle smaller kids, and some foul language that kids might imitate. In the film, loyalty and trust are significant themes.
A lion! When I was 7, I strangled my first parrot, flushed my first goldfish, punched my first snake. Now, I have finally reached the moment I have been preparing for my entire life. The pinnacle of my career. To hunt the king of the beasts.
Europe's most wanted is Captain Chantal Shannon Deboa, a secondary antagonist in the Madagascar film series. Deboa plays the chief of animal control in this film. Deboa is ruthless, aggressive, biased, determined, and unrelenting in her ambitions while carrying out her duty to collect runaway animals. She hunts animals cruelly and then displays their severed heads as trophies, demonstrating her extreme vituperation and cruelty toward them. Her primary objective was to capture a lion so she could use it as one of her trophies. Deboa puts innocent bystanders in danger in her zeal to catch the escaped zoo animals, revealing herself to be somewhat calculating, psychopathic, schizophrenic, and manipulative. She also breaks out of an Italian jail and continues to try to kill Alex, even though he has been returned to the Central Park Zoo. Deboa makes an incredibly careless and inattentive discovery near the film's conclusion when she attempts to murder Alex in front of a crowd, but is clever enough to conceal the poison dart pistol with a foam finger. She also demonstrates her extreme vengefulness as she tries to kill Stefano for merely aiding Alex in eluding her. Deboa's real personality results in her downfall when Alex throws her into an animal cage, and more tranquilizes her with a dart she made herself. The penguins then transport Deboa and her male companions inside the cage to Madagascar. Charges now: Chantal Deboa could be charged $2,000 with a year of imprisonment for hunting animals. Apart from this, she tried to kill Alex, which could cause her life imprisonment.
Who are you?
I'm Li Shan. I'm looking for my son.
You lost your son?
Yes. Many years ago.
I lost my father.
Finding the internal power of being yourself is the main subject of the entire Kung Fu Panda trilogy. This animation series' third film is titled Kung Fu Panda 3. It is an inspiring story of personal growth, discovery, and persistence. If you want your children to identify their internal power, this movie could be the best shot.
Very tacky.
How dare you set foot on these grounds?
Look at you pathetic fools. Groveling at the feet of Oogway the Magnificent.
You are not fit to speak his name.
I am not fit, little kitten.
General Kai, commonly called the Collector, serves as Kung Fu Panda 3's primary villain. He was an army general and a warrior who served alongside his comrade Oogway. Best friends Kai and Oogway battled together, but after Kai discovered how to take chi from others, Oogway exiled him to the spirit realm. He left the mortal realm 500 years later and returned as a spirit warrior, intent on stealing the chi from every kung fu master and destroying Oogway's heritage. Kai sent some of his Jade soldiers searching for Oogway's students once he returned. They ultimately came upon Po and the Furious Five, who Kai had seen via the eyes of his warriors as they were engaged in a fight with them. He then called his troops to him and sent Crane and Mantis, together with Masters Bear, Croc, and Chicken, whose communities had also been invaded, to look into his current position. Although the Masters met Kai and attempted to combat him, they were all quickly defeated and had their chi stolen from the sea inward, along with all other masters in China. If you want to know more about the storyline, you should watch the movie. Charges. Talking about charges, Kai could get 8 years imprisonment for fighting with Po, and 14 years for stealing chai.
This could be the end of Kung Fu.
But I just got Kung Fu.
And now you must save it.
Mentioning again, finding the internal power of being yourself. The Kung Fu Panda trilogy's main subject has been this. All the mantras, proverbs, sayings, quotes, and verses center on discovering and being proud of your individuality, giving you inner strength, calmness, heart, and confidence. This is the best movie to get the idea of identifying yourself.
With the weapon by my side, all China bow before. We move out in 3 days when the moon is full and the tide is high. Now you old goat, why don't you tell me my fortune?
Lord Shen. In Kung Fu Panda 2, Lord Shen is the primary villain. He was the successor to the throne of Gongmen City and the son of the regal Peacock family. The soothsayer's prophecy came true when Po, the promised warrior of black and white, defeated him, even though his sword and the army would have temporarily elevated him to power in Gongmen City. Charges. Explaining the charges, Lord Shen could get 5 years imprisonment for slaughtering. He could also get a penalty of 7 years to life imprisonment for making deadly weapons.
You'll destroy the whole city. I'm sorry. I'm fine. Breathe. Get in touch with my true power. Making awesome music.
Talking about the movie, one of the central themes in Megamind is the relationship between early child rearing and future destinies. But another theme jumps out at you when you watch this animated movie: the question of the relationship between good and evil.
What's a titan?
My super ears are burning.
I usually just scare criminals. You haven't been naughty, have you? I'm totally messing with you. The name's Titan.
Titan?
Your very own heroic guardian of pure awesome. What's your name? Just kidding. I know everything about you. Oh. And I brought some flowers. Didn't know what you liked, so I just grabbed, all of them.
The main adversary of Dreamworks' 21st full-length animated feature film, Megamind, is Hal Stewart, best known by his supervillain identity Titan. He was once Roxanne Ritchie's nerdy and unnerving cameraman, but after being exposed to Megamind's serum, he changed into a furious, cunning, and destructive supervillain. He is also Megamind's greatest enemy. Speaking of his role in the film, he claims that he believes he should get the girl because he saved her, because Megamind told him that was how it worked. Megamind only holds that belief because he was raised by criminals in prison and isn't very socially adept. He bases his assumptions solely on what he believes is happening between Metroman and Roxanne. Before gaining his powers and following Megamind's poor counsel, Hal was simply a genuinely awkward man with a crush on a girl who didn't like him back. When Roxanne feels terrible for hurting Titan's emotions, she tries to intervene by appealing to Titan's conscience. Megamind then takes himself back to prison after feeling regret for his acts. Sadly, Titan rejects the idea that he has any redeeming qualities and only acts out of anger after being spurned by her. After Roxanne rejects him, Titan kidnaps her and ties her to the radio tower, threatening to kill her if Megamind doesn't show up to fight him. Charges. Telling about Titan's charges, he could get 5 years imprisonment for threatening Roxanne and 20 years for kidnapping her.
Thanks for waiting. I had the hardest time finding this place. No, bad donkey, bad, down.
No, Dad, it's all right. It's all right. He's with us. He helped rescue me from the dragon.
Yep, that's me, the noble steed. Hey, waiter, how about a bowl for the steed?
This movie would be good enough if you want your children to think positively about this world. Shrek 2 teaches us that people and ogres can find true love with anyone, regardless of their appearance. People shouldn't judge people based on looks, because they could have a heart of gold. Also, people shouldn't be ashamed of who they are.
Hey, you! Back away from my wife.
Shrek? You couldn't just go back to your swamp and leave well enough alone.
The fairy godmother is the main villain in Shrek 2, the 8th full-length animated feature film from Dreamworks, and Shrek the Third's posthumous main antagonist. In Shrek 2, the fairy godmother was such a villain that it was impossible to avoid watching her. She was the star of the fairy tale prequel film. The fairy godmother is a magical fairy, much like she was in her origin story. Her personality, however, differs from that of her conventional counterpart. She is the princess's mother as well. Her plans were thwarted when Shrek and Donkey saved Fiona before Charming could arrive. She had previously arranged a bargain with King Harold to have Charming rescue Fiona from the Dragon's Keep and liberate her from the curse that causes her to turn into an ogress by night. Her only desire was for her son, Prince Charming to wed Fiona and become the king of Far, Far Away, ensuring the family's success. She had no idea that Shrek had fought fiercely and successfully for his wife, putting the fairy godmother in her place. Fairy godmother had plenty of nasty moments, and viewers couldn't get enough of them until she died. Charges. Did you ever think about a fairy godmother getting charged? If not, then this is an exciting part for you. The fairy godmother of the movie Shrek 2 could get a heavy penalty fine, or even more than 6 months imprisonment for unevenly dealing with Princess Fiona's marriage.